Tough conversations can pop up anywhere, whether it's in the sword alley, the pickup cab, or over supper at the kitchen table. And let's be honest, navigating those talks can leave everyone involved feeling frustrated, unheard, or stuck. That's why I created a free guide, Handling Hard Conversations, 3 Steps to Creating Space for Clarity, Connection, and Mutual Respect. In this quick and practical resource, you will learn how to pause and ground yourself before your emotions run wild, validate both yourself and others, building trust, and how to ask honest questions that lead to real connection. These 3 simple steps can help you communicate better and keep your relationships, whether it's with your family, your crew, or your spouse, strong and steady, even on the hard days. Download your free copy today and start moving more smoothly through those hard conversations with confidence. The link is in the show notes, so go grab it now. Here's to drawing good movement.
I'll carry you, you carry me, we'll help each other through it. Come on and say good movement draws good movement.
Welcome to Good Movement Draws Good Movement, the podcast where farmers, ranchers, and rural folks can grow relationally through awareness, understanding, and effective communication. Hey, it's T. I'm your host, and I, along with my guests, will be covering topics related to drawing good movement. Things like self and social awareness, brain science, positive psychology, extending grace, and so much more. We'll share tools that can help you understand why you are the way you are, why others are the way they are, and how you can use that to step out of self-told lies with grace and compassion to draw good movement in conversations, relationships, and life in rural America. Let's go draw good movement. Welcome back to the Good Movement Draws Good Movement podcast. I'm not going to lie to you. This is likely going to be a short episode because this week that I'm recording this episode is our fair week. And tomorrow is the horse show, which means I have just come inside from taking the kids to the arena, practicing with their horses there, coming home, washing horses, getting our contributions to our potluck lunch ready. And so this is going to be short and inspired by what happened yesterday. And what happened yesterday was I wore a shirt that I got from my friend Tara Vanderdusen of the Discover Ag podcast, formerly known as New Mexico Milkmaid. When Tara was blogging under New Mexico Milkmaid, she had an online shop. She had some shirts, some different things, and I got one of her shirts. And the shirt says, "When life gives you shit, make fertilizer." And it's got this really cool illustration of hands holding compost with a plant coming out of it. It's a great shirt. I love it. I love the image. I love the saying. I love the feel of the shirt. But while I was out caking cows yesterday, I was ruminating on that phrase, "When life gives you shit, make fertilizer." And I love the phrase. I love it. And I think it leaves out some nuance and maybe a little context because we can't just take the shit and make the fertilizer. We have to first acknowledge that what we have is manure, and then we have to compost it. We have to sit with it. We have to turn it. We have to help it break down in order for it to be good for growth. It has to compost because raw manure is high in nitrogen and that'll burn the plants. And so the composting process kind of takes some of that out. And I couldn't help but think of how that applies, that phrase, obviously, "When life gives you shit, make fertilizer." But the shit in life, the grief, the resentment, the disappointment, the anger, the sadness, the crappy things that happen, at least from my own experience, I tried to skip right to the fertilizer part. And you can't do that. you have to first acknowledge what you have. If you're like me, maybe you're not acknowledging that. Maybe you are just shoving it down and pretending everything's fine. It's not that bad. So and so has it worse. It's okay. It's great. Like, you cannot make fertilizer from a crappy situation if you don't acknowledge that it's a crappy situation. And the first step is naming that. And I did not do that. And do you know what that got me? By not naming the crappy, not acknowledging that what I had was in fact manure, life was handing me some manure. I had strained relationships. I mean, Tom for a while was constantly telling me, I just wish I knew what you felt. Yeah, same, dude. I don't even know what I feel because I just shove it down nice and tidy. And gut issues. Oh my gosh. My guts were a mess for a very long time. And it wasn't until I started really digging deep into this inner work and naming what I was actually feeling and then feeling what I was actually feeling and sitting with those emotions and letting them inform me that my guts got better. And by doing that, then I actually knew what I felt so I could share it with Tom. So my relationship got better. In rural America, I don't think that I'm alone in the moving on, getting over it, just keep going. It's not that bad. It's okay. I don't think I'm alone there. I think that's pretty common here in rural America. But I've said this before, we can only get back on that buckskin. We can only shove it down for so long before it gets us, before we can no longer do that. That does not lead to growth, but actually acknowledging what is happening and not dismissing it, that is a beautiful start to some really good growth. Growth starts with honest recognition of what's going on. I'm not saying like sit there and stew in the poo. No, that's not what we're doing. But we have to acknowledge what we have in order to grow. We have to acknowledge that we have manure in order to make fertilizer from it. You can't compost something that you don't know is there or won't admit is there. And if you are ready to help this turn into some growth, this whatever it is that you've got going on, if you're ready for someone to sit with you and help you and be there with you in that, I want to remind you that I have one-on-one good movement guidance. I have some spots open right now. And if you're ready for that, click the link in the show notes. Let's schedule a consult call where we can sit down and chat and talk about what that looks like. This type of support is not just for when things are crashing down on you. You know, you might feel all right now, but as we discussed in last week's episode, this kind of support is for all the time so that when things are crashing down around you, you have the capacity to move through that. And let's face it, sometimes, all the time, actually, it's best to start composting. We're using that analogy still. Composting this stuff before the pile gets too big. So if you've got a pile of stuff you've been ignoring, or you're finally ready to turn it into something good and make that fertilizer, I would be absolutely honored to sit with you while you sit with it. And with that, here's to composting the crap and drawing good movement. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you. If you found value in this episode, I'd love for you to share with others who might also benefit from tuning in. Share by word of mouth, send it in a text, take a screenshot and post it on social media, or share however you prefer. And if you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, draw good movement.